It's time for a comparison. Having been on Zwift now for about 9 months, let's see what Rouvy's got to offer. Like you, I've heard a lot about Rouvy, but I've been an avid Zwifter for 9 months now, so maybe it's time to see how Rouvy compares to Zwift. I'm going to look at 5 different areas in this video to see how Rouvy stacks up against Zwift. We'll look at the user interface, we'll look at the racing side of it, which people who follow this channel will know I'm very interested in. We'll look at the community, which probably links into the racing in terms of how many people you'll be able to compete against in the races. We'll then look at what the look and feel of actually using the game whilst you're on your indoor cycling setup is actually like. And then finally, we'll look at value for money. So stay with me to the end, hear what my conclusions are. As an avid Zwifter, perhaps coming into this review with a little bit of bias, but I'll try and leave that at the front door and we'll take this as objectively as we possibly can. Let's get it set up. Let's see how we get on with logging in and getting set up on Rouvy. And I've got the Zwift Ride. So for all of you out there who are looking at virtual shifting setups or indeed have a Zwift Ride, then this will be of interest to you, I'm sure. The setup so far has been quite easy, although we haven't actually started, but I went onto the Rouvy website, filled in a couple of details, they sent me an email, I've now clicked on the link and logged in, and now we're into the interface. So let's see where we go from here. So it's found the Zwift Ride, and all I had to do was press the 2 buttons on the play controllers. So that's good, we've got that connected, and I'll add the heart rate monitor when I actually go for a ride. So we've got cadence, controllable, virtual shifting, heart rate we'll do shortly afterwards. Add power meter, kick a core. And we could probably just test this, I imagine. Oh, and there we go. So we're getting a reading out of it, so that's all good. Continue. And let's start the first ride. So loading the game. I suppose I'm going to have to go and get changed in a minute. And there we go, we're in Rouvy. So let's have a quick look around the user interface and follow the tutorial. So 5 to 10 minute ride will guide you through the basics. So let's do it. Let's start pedaling. Right, I'm going to go and get changed and then we'll try this out. Okay, so we're all logged in. We're going to do the 5 to 10 minute ride and we'll see how that goes. So very first impressions, it's a nice looking game, isn't it? It is more real life, I suppose. So on the left we can see your trainer's resistance, which is set by the route profile, and the virtual shifting we can see above the watts. We've got the route so we can see where the hills are. Yeah, it's a nice interface. So we're going to get some ghost riders. Oh, and another interesting feature in the middle at the top of the screen, it's got drafting. So that's not in Zwift. You have to get source for Zwift to see that. Okay, so we're earning some XP already. And it's talking to us about the drafting indicator. So there's an interesting thing happening on the interface on the left. On the left hand side you can see it's sort of bubbling. And on the right as well. That's a bit odd. Well, maybe that'll line itself out, but it's a bit distracting, that is. So there doesn't seem to be any steering, it's just shifting by the looks of it. Oh, and we've got a nice downhill bit now. And I've run out of gears. I'm in 24th, I'm in top. So that's interesting, I've never done that in Zwift. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, it just hasn't happened. And actually I've not managed to keep up with the people in front of me. We'll pull them back in on the flat. That's it, enjoy your ride, keep going. So we'll end the tutorial. We've got a new personal record, which isn't particularly impressive. And then you've got this screen, so it shows you your power zones. My heart rate monitor wasn't linked up, I'm going to do that now. And then we've got this riders portal thing. Let's take the tour. Home screen acts as a central hub. Status bar. Change our avatar. So lots of lovely places to ride by the looks of it. That looks nice. Riding event. So this might be the bit that I'm interested in, the racing. It tells you the number of people. Championship race there, the Muckers June Championship race. I think that means it's got 104 people in it, which seems pretty healthy. And workouts. I don't love workouts. Okay, so we're level 1. A long way from level 50. I am in Zwift. So let's see, now that we've got that all set up, if we can join an event. So we'll go into the events tab. We've got this one starting in 8 minutes. So we'll start our warm-up. Let's see how this goes. First race in Rouvy. It's quite good. Everybody's by their bikes, doing their stretches. And it looks like we've got 10 people in, if I'm reading it correctly, across the top. I can see the riders on the left-hand side. So we'll come back to this in a minute and we'll see what the racing's like. So this race, it looks like it's just under 31 kilometers, 613 meters of climbing. So I picked a nice easy one for my first go. I have no idea about the standard of the other riders, so I might just get left in the dust here. Okay, and we're off. I'm still not sure which one I am, but I think I might be purple jersey in the middle. Oh, and that's really odd. You've got cars coming at you, because obviously it's filmed in real life. Oh, that must be me there, running in second place. Okay, so I'm stripy purple. So let's see if we can race a bit smarter. So it's interesting, there's the drafting at the top. Apparently I'm perfect at the moment. So it's a very different look and feel. The graphics on the riders are good, really good. There's a guy off to the left there who looks like he's ghosting a bit, I'm not sure why. The real life aspects of it, I guess you'd either like that or you wouldn't like that. Just hitting a bit of a climb. Okay, so we've just reached a new level. Levels are coming thick and fast. So the virtual shifting works absolutely fine. So some other differences, not good, not bad, just differences, is you can see on the rider list on the left hand side that instead of measuring seconds distance as it does in Zwift, measures meters. So just a different take on it. So I don't mind the idea of riding on the roads. I'm running out of gears again on my virtual shifting. Oh, we're about to pass a real life cyclist.
In terms of community, I've been on Zwift for 9 months, and during that period of time I've joined teams, I've built a community around that and utilised Discord, WhatsApp, so on and so forth, and communicated with my fellow teammates. And of course then there's the community side of it in-game with the in-game messaging and what have you. I think it's probably quite unfair for me to judge Rouvy's community after having only used it for a couple of days. But what I can see is that there's actually quite a number of people that are in the races. And one of the criticisms that I saw levelled against Rouvy maybe a couple of years ago was that there wasn't that many people in the races to race against. But certainly the race that I did that you've seen on the video already. There was, I think, 14 people or maybe 13 people in that. And when we have a look through the events at the moment, we can see, in fact, let's do that now. And we can see in one that was raced earlier today, there was 46 people that attended it. We can see on this one here around the Swiss Lake that is coming up in a couple of days, that there's 12 people already entered. And yes, 76 people in that race there. If you want to race within Rouvy, it seems like there's plenty of other people to race against. And we can see on this screen that there's various challenges, as there are within Zwift, that you can join. And actually, you know, there's a lot of people that have signed up for these. So your Swiss Peaks 25, 1,838 people have signed up. And actually looking at these ones down here, the Crystal Lakes Cruise, which is clearly something that's running at the moment, as is this Climb of Champions, 18,000 people and 9,500 people on Climb of Champions. So I believe that if you are looking for a bit more of a social side on it, then you can add people as friends in the same way as you can on Zwift, and build a community side of it if that's what you're looking for in the game. In Zwift, one of the aspects that I've really enjoyed is joining, well, I've actually joined 3 teams for different types of racing within Zwift. And there doesn't seem to be an equivalent in Rouvy. You can do lots of the things that you can do in Zwift, like group rides. If you are a member of a real life cycling club, then you can join up with friends and do that online, much in the same way as you can in Zwift. But the whole ZRL, Zwift Racing League, kind of amateur racing leagues that you race for teams doesn't seem to be there. I've had a bit of a Google, I can't find it anywhere. If anybody knows any different, then please let me know in the comments. I'm happy to stand corrected. What about the look and feel? Well, I've got to say, I do like it. The layout of the game and of the Riders Portal, very clear, very nice to look at, easy to navigate. It's on par, you know, I mean, Zwift, Rouvy, they're presented differently, but I think they're both very easy to use once you've familiarised yourself with them for a few minutes. It has pretty much all of the functionality that you'd expect to see for an indoor cycling app. So for example, you can find your routes by going into the routes tab, and then you can look, either browse by the map or you can search for them by name, so on and so forth. So if you're looking for a particular route that you want to do, that you are maybe going to try in real life and you want to get a heads up on what it will be like, you can do that here as long as the route's in the game. Yeah, so that's really nice. And workouts, plenty of workouts in there from what I can see. So, you know, whether you want to increase your endurance power or your sprinting power, or, you know, work on your FTP, all of that is available as it is in Zwift. In terms of the events, we already touched on it before in the racing section, but there's plenty of them. You know, you can quite happily find a race. It does seem to be well attended. Even here in the UK, whilst we're going into the summer months, which in theory we should be riding outdoors, but with the weather recently, that's not been particularly nice. But there are people online that you can race against if that's your thing. And then challenges, you know, there's challenges in there which seem to be broadly equivalent to what you would see in Zwift, and again, very well attended. So nothing really to choose between the two platforms. I think the biggest difference that I can see, as I said in the community section, is there doesn't seem to be this amateur racing. And from a very personal point of view, that would be a deal breaker for me. In terms of value, there's no question that Rouvy is cheaper. It works out about £50 a year if you take their annual plan at £129. Or £12.99 a month, whereas Zwift is £179.99 for 12 months, or £17.99 if you pay monthly. So is it worth paying more for Zwift? So I imagine it comes down to 2 things. The first one is, which interface do you prefer? Do you prefer the look of the in real life riding, or do you prefer the more gamified experience that you get with Zwift? So that would be a deciding factor. And the second piece is around the teams aspect that I spoke about earlier, in as much as it seems much better supported in Zwift if you want to join an online team and race for that team. And the other thing that I've seen within Zwift that I haven't seen in Rouvy is there are third-party competitions like Ecro and Flormerouge Racing that host their own team-based racing events within the Zwift framework. So again, this adds an extra layer to the team racing. But if you're not interested in team racing, then really it comes down to, I think at least, which one you prefer the look of. So which is best, Zwift or Rouvy? I'm not sure there's a best. I think it's more a case of what you prefer. As I just mentioned in the value for money section, it really will come down to the look and feel of the game that you prefer. For me personally, I prefer Zwift. There was a couple of things about the Rouvy experience that I didn't love. The first one was the avatars look a little bit out of place on the road, which is only to be expected, and I think they've done an incredible job, but for me it wasn't that pleasing on the eye. And there was also the fact that with the virtual shifting, I had a problem whereabouts I was running out of gear. So I'm not entirely sure that that has been implemented 100% just yet. I'm sure it will come, but I couldn't see anywhere in the settings whereabouts I could tweak the gears or do anything to adjust that, which you can in Zwift. You can change the gear setup and so on and so forth. But I guess this is not surprising because the virtual shifting that we have in the marketplace, which is the Play controllers, the Zwift Ride, they're all Zwift products. So you would undoubtedly expect it to work better in that environment. That said, I think Rouvy's implementation of it is to be admired and to be applauded. The fact that they're trying to make the platform as accessible as possible to as many people, I think is absolutely right. So that's my thoughts. I think it's been really interesting to have a look at it. I've really enjoyed it, but I will be sticking with Zwift, certainly for the time being. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it as always. If you enjoy the content, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.